For billions of years, the moon has watched silently from above, unmoving, expressionless, and cold. But what if, one day, the moon woke up? What if it began to change, not in myths or legends, but in a way that science could explain? In this episode, we're not talking about a fantasy creature or an alien intelligence hiding under the craters. We're exploring something deeper, a question that blends astronomy, physics, and earth science. Could the moon, in any scientific sense, come alive? Let's uncover the truth behind this idea and what would really happen if the moon somehow awakened. What the moon really is. To understand the idea of an awakening, we first need to understand what the moon really is. Our moon formed about 4.5 billion years ago, after a Mars-sized body, called Theia, collided with the young Earth. Debris from that impact eventually gathered and cooled into the rocky sphere we see today. Unlike Earth, the moon has no atmosphere, no magnetic field strong enough to protect it, and no liquid water on its surface. It's geologically quiet, or so we thought. But scientists have discovered something fascinating: the moon isn't completely dead. It still trembles. We call them moonquakes, seismic vibrations that can last for more than 10 minutes, far longer than earthquakes. These are caused by tidal forces, the same gravitational pull between Earth and moon that moves our oceans. It means the moon is still reacting to Earth, stretching, bending, and adjusting ever so slightly. So, in a way, the moon isn't asleep. It's resting, breathing very slowly in geological time. Could the moon awaken? When we imagine the moon awakening, we might think of movement, energy, or transformation. Scientifically, such an awakening could mean one of three things: internal reactivation, volcanic or tectonic activity starting again; magnetic or energetic recharging, the moon generating new electromagnetic activity; biological awakening, life forming or being sustained there. Let's look at each possibility. 1. Internal reactivation. The moon's volcanic activity ended over a billion years ago. However, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter found young features, wrinkle ridges, only tens of millions of years old. That's recent by geological standards. This means the moon is still cooling, still shrinking, and still cracking. If its core were to heat up again, perhaps from tidal stress or radioactive decay, minor eruptions could occur. Not enough to melt the surface, but enough to release gases trapped inside. This could create a thin, temporary atmosphere, a lunar breath. In that sense, the moon could partially awaken. 2. Electromagnetic awakening. The moon once had a strong magnetic field billions of years ago, like Earth does today. But it vanished as the core cooled. If somehow the core were stirred again, say by massive impacts or internal motion, a magnetic field could return. This field would interact with solar wind and possibly create faint auroras visible even from Earth. An electromagnetic awakening, subtle but real, would change how the moon reflects radiation and affects our planet's magnetosphere. Earth's tides, communication satellites, and even animal navigation could all feel the difference. 3. Biological awakening. Now, could life ever exist on the moon? Right now, conditions are brutal: temperatures from -170 degrees Celsius to +120 degrees Celsius, almost no atmosphere, and strong radiation. But science has found that Earth life can survive in extreme conditions. Tardigrades, microscopic water bears, have survived on the lunar surface after being accidentally carried by probes. They didn't live there, but they endured. If we ever terraform small regions, say, with domes or underground habitats, microbial life could eventually adapt. So, a biological awakening would likely come from us, humans, bringing life to the moon. What would happen to Earth? An awakening moon wouldn't just change itself, it would change us. If the moon became geologically active, small eruptions could release dust and gas into orbit. This might create a thin ring around Earth, shimmering for decades. If its magnetic field returned, it could slightly shift the balance of Earth's own magnetosphere, altering how solar storms hit us. The northern lights might glow in unexpected places. But the biggest impact would be gravitational. If the moon's mass changed even by 0.1%, Earth's tides would shift dramatically. Coastlines would flood differently, weather patterns could adjust, and the rhythm of our planet would subtly change. The moon's awakening, though not catastrophic, would echo through every ocean and every night sky. The human connection. For thousands of years, humans have seen the moon as a mirror of ourselves, calm, reflective, mysterious. If it were to awaken, maybe it's really a reflection of our own awakening, our growing awareness of how deeply connected everything in space truly is. We've already left our footprints there. We've placed machines, flags, and memories on its silent soil. Perhaps the true awakening won't come from inside the moon, but from inside us, when we finally realize that the moon and Earth are one system, dancing in cosmic harmony. So, could the moon awaken? Scientifically speaking, yes, in a way. It already moves, breathes, and evolves just over timescales far beyond human life. One day, as we return, explore, and maybe even live there, we may become part of its awakening. And when we look up at the full moon again, we might not see a cold rock anymore, but a living partner in the endless story of the universe. Learning through questions. Like and subscribe to learn new knowledge every day.